When I opened the January 2026 issue of Truck Logger BC and saw new messages from the Premier and the Minister of Forests, I wasn't expecting good news. But I was hoping for something different. Unfortunately, it's more of the same. In the articles, Eby and Parmar lay out the government's plan to strengthen BC forestry. Their approach hasn't evolved. They blame US tariffs and global markets, promise trade missions and diversification, want to move more fiber faster, expand BC timber sales, and speed up permits, salvage, thinning, and exports. This is the same volume-based strategy that has already collapsed the forestry sector. And it's the same reliance on global markets that BC has absolutely no control over. Here's the problem they keep refusing to name. BC does not have a market problem. BC has a forest condition and system design problem. And this part matters. Because if the problem really was tariffs or trade access, then opening new markets in Japan or South Korea would fix it. But that's not what we're seeing on the ground. And the numbers make that clear. Forestry jobs have fallen from about 100,000 to roughly 55,000 in the past 20 years. And today, forestry contributes less than 2% of BC's GDP. That's not a trade problem, that's a system in decline. You cannot trade mission your way out of depleted forests. You cannot diversify markets when the remaining wood is smaller, lower quality, further from mills, and increasingly expensive to harvest. And you cannot build stability by increasing throughput in forests that are already overdrawn. Both gentlemen talk about predictable fiber supply, doing more with less, and protecting jobs. But none of what they say they're doing changes the system that caused the collapse. That system still says cut levels are disconnected from real forest conditions. Tenure rewards volume, not outcomes. Communities have no real decision-making power, and forests are treated as factory feedstock, not critical infrastructure. That's the system doing exactly what it was designed to do. If this approach worked, mills wouldn't be closing. Instead, harvest is down over 40%, jobs keep disappearing, and government revenue is falling right alongside them. Faster permits don't fix structural failure. They just make a failing system fail faster. So if this isn't the answer, what is? Because do nothing isn't an option either. The solution is to change the system itself. That's what the new Forest Act framework is designed to do. It was built by rural residents, foresters, and retired government staff, people with decades of on-the-ground and inside government experience. Instead of managing forests for maximum volume, the new Forest Act framework puts ecological limits first, based on actual forest conditions, treats forests as critical infrastructure for water, flood protection, fire resilience, and community safety, replaces volume-based tenure with community-based decision-making, prioritizes value-added manufacturing and local processing, so more of the wood cut in a region is turned into products and jobs in that region, and it shifts employment towards skilled forestry, restoration, monitoring, and long-term stewardship, not liquidation. Logging doesn't disappear, but it changes. Less waste, more selective harvesting, more jobs per cubic meter, and fewer boom and bust cycles that hollow out towns. In other words, cut fewer trees, get more value per tree cut, employ more people, and keep communities stable. BC Forestry doesn't need another government press release or trade mission. It doesn't need faster permits for a system that's already failing. It needs new rules. Because pretending this system can be fixed by pushing it harder is how we got here in the first place. Complaining won't fix this. New rules will. If you want a real solution instead of another press release, support the new Forest Act project at boundaryforest.org.